36:27 for 5.1 miles, 7:08 average pace. Wow. Wow. Well, that was like my best 5-miler in like well over 2 years. Hi, dog. I mean, that would have been an awesome 5-miler like pre-runner's dystonia, because I was only hitting paces like that for maybe 6 months before I developed runner's dystonia. Like, I was fast, but I had like started to get below that 7:15 consistently. Yeah, talking about my pace, because what a measurement of progress, dude. Like, what a measurement of progress. And today is May 11th, 2026. And I was thinking, I think this is the year anniversary of like when I made kind of one of the first videos that I posted to this channel. Not one of the first videos I posted ever, but one of the first ones that sort of like hinted at the fact that I had tension myositis syndrome. But I was so early in it, and I knew that everybody would think that is ridiculous, and still thinks it's ridiculous, but whatever. My progress is my proof. I was like, I think I made that video on that day. So I looked at my YouTube channel now, and no, it was May 12th, but who cares? It is basically the year anniversary of like me only have done like 10 days of believing that my runner's dystonia was tension myositis. I started believing on May 1st, 2025, when all of a sudden I couldn't walk again. Let alone run, I couldn't walk again. I was dragging my leg around this subdivision, but I was still walking. I didn't give up because I knew it was psychological. I knew it wasn't a neurological problem with just the onset of it and how it came on and how it just wasn't. Like, my brain didn't break in an instant. It didn't break in an instant the first time. It didn't break in an instant the second time. So it took me 10 days, and I went to being able to walk like, I don't know, really fast again, like 13 something mile. And so, oh, we got a dog on the loose. And so I'm keeping it in. Sorry, neighbor. So I just knew that I was onto something. I knew I was onto something. And that 10 days, it just like gave me the proof that I just needed to focus on the psychological, my emotional well-being, my mindset, and like number one, just believing that my runner's dystonia was not a permanent neurological disorder that could only be managed, and just the best I could do would be able to maintain, because that's not true. So like, that video totally sucked. And like, granted, I didn't even really like say what it was really about, because again, like, I was just like so new to the concepts, and I'm like, no one's gonna buy this. But I remember saying in that video that it's not a body problem, it's a mind problem, or something to that degree, because I just didn't have like the words for it yet. And it was just such an amazing transformation over the course of May 2025, where I went from not being able to walk again to the very last day of that month, I ran a mile. And I was okay. Sure, did I have symptoms? Obviously. But I knew I was gonna be okay. And I've been running ever since. And holy shit, today was so good, man. My progress is my proof, people. Runner's dystonia, you are not doomed. You are not doomed. You can get back to where you were. This is where I was. Is there anything truly wrong with me now? When I did a 5-miler that I could do just as fast and just as well before all this happened to me. People who recover from runner's dystonia, the reason you do not see them in the groups and on the forums is because we recover and run away. I'm not sticking around talking to people about this. Hell no. It is a traumatic, horrible experience. I don't need to engage in arguing with people about, runner's dystonia and the causes of it and the treatments and how there's no hope and blah, blah, blah. Putting in a pool over there. this is Michigan, you can only use it for 3 months out of the year, whatever. Just came back from Florida, so I'm like, it's cold again here. It was like in the 30s this morning. I miss Florida. But anyway, who knows where I was? That's my rant today. I'm not here to convince you. I'm just going to continue to post my progress and post my belief that tension myositis syndrome is the cause of your runner's dystonia. It is neuroplastic symptoms, the mind-body syndrome, whatever you want to call it. You got to work on the psychological issues, not the physical ones. And you know what? Since like no one really cared about that video that I had posted from May 12th, well, I'm going to add it at the end of this video. So you can watch it if you haven't watched it before to see where I was a year ago and where I am now. And you make your decision. I just had kind of a mind-blowing thought while here walk in the beautiful cemetery and listen to my bilateral stimulation music and try to relax when there's yard work and cars going by. There has been so much focus on my body being ready to run again, just with everything in the past year, all the physical therapy, all the various aches and pains, losing so much strength. But it's really, is my mind ready to run again? And what do I mean by that? Because that sounds very like woo-woo. It's been a lot going on in here in terms of realizing what it truly is I need to work on with my runner's dystonia. And what happened to me this past week has been even more transformative. So I did a really great run about 10 days ago, and I had little dystonia symptoms. I definitely had them, but it felt like a great run. Like I felt pretty smooth and like I was absolutely going in the right direction. And the next day I just stopped being able to walk again. Like my leg just turned into a peg leg, like virtually overnight. It actually happened on a walk. It just, over the course of the walk, I'm like, I can't even get home. What's going on? And it wasn't my typical like ankle turning symptoms. Like that wasn't even it. It was like my entire left leg was stiff. And it happened so quickly. And given like the context in my life and what is going on now in terms of stress and big decisions and things like that need to happen, I was like, huh. And I could barely walk for, I'd say, a good 5 days. But I still walked a mile on my own, practicing with my freaking peg leg. Man, it did not feel good. It hurt, and I looked really, really weird, and it was really embarrassing, but I did it. And I still walked my dog every night because I am like, the number one thing is I am not going to panic over this flare, whatever it is. I'm going to keep trying to live my life as normally as I can. And every day since then, things have gotten slightly better. But it's not just about the walking, which I've hammered home a million times, which is super important to me. I have done so much thinking, the beginning of the work, on the real things that have been going on in my brain that are causing my dystonia. I am approaching it way more as a psychological problem, a psychiatric problem, than a physical problem. A lot of good things coming. I've seen a little bit of progress every day. And mentally, I have felt so much clearer and positive. So I'll be talking a lot more about that in the future.